Hello, guys. Hope you're all doing well. This is TJ, and you are listening to Beyond the Ring podcast. And this is my review of Impact Wrestling. Impact Wrestling has been on a roll since last few weeks. It has been a very good show, and actually, I actually also enjoyed this week's show as well. We got a pretty packed show this week. We got six to I think seven matches that we saw, and I would say that the matches they had in this show, each of the matches s- told certain story, and actually they took the shape and form of the card Under Siege that's gonna be on May 15th. So before we get into the discussion, let's get into the discussion straight away. The first matchup was the qualifier that they are deciding for the six-way matchup at Under Siege for crowning the number one contenders for the Kenny Omega Impact World Championship. And the first matchup was Sabin versus Rhino. I was pretty excited for this matchup. The opening match was a qualifier match, so I was pretty excited to see who's gonna win. Rhino, I am a big fan of Rhino as well. So Sabin, his style is entirely different. Like Rhino, on the one hand, is a powerhouse, while Sabin is very athletic and is very agile. Uh, that we have seen. Actually, there's a history that has been uh, in between them. They have faced each other in TNA days on 2005. Uh, they have faced each other before in 2005. So actually, this match was very good. Uh, Sabin actually take advantage of that athleticism background, his fast-paced maneuvers. But there was involvement of violent by design as well to support Rhino. Rhino actually was trying to uh, uh, catch up with Sabin, but Sabin was kind of the story of this match actually was Sabin was too fast that Rhino couldn't catch up with him. He was unable to uh, carry around like the fast-paced action that he was doing. So he was getting outsmarted each and every time. So the ending of the match. The finish of the match saw Rhino attempting a spear and then Sabin getting into a cradle pin and he got up the victory. He actually outsmarted the he actually outsmarted Rhino. So it was a very good opener, I would say. This was a very good and very good great opener. Sabin actually picked up the victory by outsmarting the big guy Rhino by his skills and quickness. This was a good match, good opener, simple storytelling. Then we go to the second match, which was a women's match, which was kind of a squash, we can say. Taylor Wilde versus Susan, and there was some kind of this match actually was full of shenanigans. There was too much involvement that it actually overshadowed Taylor Wilde. She actually is very good, and when she actually debuted in Rebellion, she looked good. And last week also she was very good, and this week. Her match was very good, but she actually was overshadowed by this in-ring shenanigans that was going on. Uh, like Tenel Dashwood had came to help Wild actually, which she don't want, but still she's helping. And Diano Perazzo, her entourage was also there. They were also being involved in this match. So there were a lot of shenanigans. It was kind of a okay match. It was just a kind of there. Um and then we saw a promo of Milf Morrissey, aka Big Cass, and he said that he's actually very raged and he is going to bring about the pain to Willie Mack, and he actually challenged Willie Mack for a match. Maybe we get that matchup in Under Siege, so it would be a good matchup. Morrissey, I see a lot of actually potential in this guy. When he was in WWE, when he was with a tag team, he was not that good, but now this guy has beefed up and he looked very good when he cut that promo. And these guys, Willie Mack and Billy Morrissey, will have definitely have a good match, I think. Next we got was another qualifier match, which was Rohit Raju with Shera versus Trey Miguel. This match, in my opinion, was the match of the night. This match was very good. It was so back and forth. This match, when I watched this match, this was like a seesaw match. It was sometimes favoring on Rohit Raju. It was sometimes into the side of Trey Miguel. Even though Shera has his small things of contribution here and there, he actually tried to get into the uh, intimidation part intimidation part to intimidate Miguel, and then he actually Raju actually distract the referee, resulting in small attack, I would say, a small elbow to the face by Shera. But this played well in this match. This actually helped Rohit Raju to control the matchup, but it was not like a one-sided match. This was a very back and forth matchup, and this was very good to see. The Actually, Trey Miguel, of his fast-paced maneuver and his innovative skills, he. He was very good in this match, while Rohit Raju was not into that kind of stuff. Like he has that kind of he does that maneuver like this, but he was not as proficient as we say Trey Miguel. Trey Miguel was sometimes outsmarting Rohit Raju, which resulted in that, as which I said, that back and forth seesaw matchup that we say. uh, Rohit Raju actually tried to control this matchup by there was a turning point in the match. I would say this was the turning point because he literally like snapped the arm of Trey Miguel. It was very uh, disturbing to see it because it looked legit, and uh, this was kind of because of Shera's contribution, that distraction and all, the intimidation and all. But still, uh, so in the closing moment of this match, we saw Trey getting a crossface attempt on Rohit, but he also escapes that pin attempt by Trey, and then he finally traps his leg and arm into a submission, and he just taps out. He couldn't take it more. So this was clearly a very great match, I would say. You should watch this match. If you don't have time to watch and the entire show, you should not miss this match. Actually, if you have time, you should definitely watch the entire show. But if you're short of time, you should not miss this match. At least I would say this match was, to me, it was match of the night. And actually you should see and you should decide whether it actually made your match of the night or not. So I would recommend you to see this match. And then we saw Jake something comes out because he has some unfinished business with Rohit Raju, because he had cost him his qualifier match last week on Impact. So he actually gives a too close line for good measure, and then uh, for a brief second I thought that I want to see Shera versus Jake something. They actually looked very evenly matched. I want to see this matchup in some point. Maybe we get next week or at Under Siege, I don't know, but I actually want to see this match. Tell me in the comment section below, actually, what you feel about this match I have said. Do you guys want to see this match? uh, I mean, the I mean, this should be a great match. This should be like a great slobber knocker match, like two big guys, two big behemoths going on it, and it should be a very great match if they booked it. And then we go on to the fourth match, which was Big LG versus Juice Robinson. This was uh, this was a match which was built up from. Actually, they are going to face in a six-man tag match, which is Kenny Omega, the Good Brothers versus the Eddie Edwards and Juice Robinson and Finn Juice, actually Juice Robinson and David Finlay. So this will be a a six-man tag match at Under Siege. So this match actually uh, one-sided because Juice Robinson was being dominated by Big LG, and the members of the elite were present. Kenny Omega was also present. Don Callis, uh, Carl Anderson, all were there, and they all were like kind of trying to interfere or intimidate him. So he was kind of disturbed. The story of this match was that he was kind of disturbed. He was not being kind of trying, but he was not actually was not able to make attention. So this was kind of pure power and strength game, just controlling him. But at the turning point of the match, he actually Big LG missed a big elbow, uh, and then he just rebound to the rope, and then he just takes off his knee and gave him a DDT. So that was a kind of only thing that he got. And when he was trying to finish him off with that juice, I don't know about the name finisher of this. It was a kill. It's a kill switch maneuver, juice switch you can say. So he tries to do that, but he was unable to. And but then Big LG comes crashing with his leg upwards and just kick the hell out and just finishes him off. This was kind of there. It was kind of a okay match just to fill time. Not much to say about. Uh, and then we got kind of a backstage segment between Havoc versus Rosemary, and we actually got a got a message that next week it would be Havoc versus Rosemary actually for the number one contenders for the knockouts title. And in the later show, in the actually not in the later show, in the end of the show, Scott Demore actually announced that this would be the match, number one contender match next week. And after this, we got the a debut of a new kid called VSK, which the commentators say Vinny Squeeze Kingston. Man, what's the name it is? I don't know. Versus El Fantasmo. El Fantasmo was great. Actually, uh, lot of the guys were excited to see him in Impact Wrestling, and we can say that the X Division is very great, and it's one of the very highlighting and the positive point of Impact Wrestling, and it's actually stacked. So it was a great addition to the Impact Wrestling. El Fantasmo. Hope he stays for longer. I would say he acted like a obviously he's from Bullet Club, so it would be a heel. So he was a heel, was kind of cocky and confident. He looked very confident in that match. BSK actually also got some moves as well. Some he also wrestled this match well. It was kind of a good match to see, even though this was kind of there, but just to fill the time. But I won't say this wasn't bad a match. This was a very good match, showing both of them. El Fantasma actually making his debut, and VSK. El Fantasma actually coming back, and VSK actually the making his debut. So it was kind of a good experience for VSK. So VSK actually got a uh, major Oshigoroshi kick, not kick Oshigiroshi, but he was unable to get the pin. At one point, I thought it would it be a shocker, but I was like, no, they wouldn't ruin that. And then he El Fantasma get a super kick on this on his gut, and he just fell down, and he again gives a super kick to the head, and just that like that, and he just was finished. Overall, this was a good fast-paced action. Both of them were great, and the next match was women's match. uh, this was kind of built upon the tag team scenario that uh, they had tag team championship match at Rebellion. This was Fire and Flavas Kira Hogan versus the Rachel Rachel Ring and Jordan Gray's team. Rachel Ring, this was a singles match. Both of the team members were there with their respective mates, and just to fill this match was just to fill the time, but this was but I should say that this match was just not there. It was actually to fill the time, but it was not like we actually see in WWE that they just throw off the match without any story to fill the time. This was not like that. They had a story in a pay-per-view, so it was not bad. The match itself was very good. Actually, Kira Hogan tried to overcome Rachel Ring, the big woman, but eventually Rachel Ring got the victory with that slam. Both of them look good, and this was also kind of a good match to see. Good match to see. Uh, uh, Definitely you can pass it through, but this was not a bad match, I would say. So the good thing about this week's show was there were some I would say unnecessary thing, like this match, the big LG versus, but all has something that is going about. Like they had a big LG match was they because they have the match in Under Siege, and probably I think these two would face again each other at Under Siege for the tag team championship. So that was the point of this show. No matches was like just there or just waste, I would say. So this was also overall a good match. And then next up was the main event. Before the main event, actually, Don Callis comes out, and Moose was just preparing for this match. And Don Callis actually kind of tried to rub him off, like he's the qualifier. He should not fight a guy like James Stockton or something. But Moose had nothing of it. He just uh, he just said Don Callis to shut up and go away. He tries to rub, but he didn't got that. We come to the main event, and Moose makes his entrance. I will say that the entrance of Moose was very great. He looked great. His physique is is very great. He's looking very excellent right now. Uh, better than before. He was TNA champion, and he is dead serious to get that Impact World Championship again. And anyways, we get to the match, and this was somewhat a very long match, I would say. Even though it was kind of only 15-minute match, but this match was felt like a very long match, because most this but I will say that this match told a very great story. The entire in this entire match, Moose was trying to hurt his knee. He in every way possible. James Storm selling, actually. Like I say, in every match, the selling should be great. The selling of James Storm was very great, very great, I would say. He was selling like hell, and Moose was also very composed attack. It was very methodical and composed attack. So, not all can actually like this match. Even I was not interested to see the whole match sometimes, because how slow it was. But at the end of the match, at the final, Strom actually tried to make a comeback in this match by hitting two three punches, and then he hits him with a Luther's press. So this was the point when the match got something in a fast-paced manner. Uh, but actually, Moose then actually he was not unable to carry out that momentum. Moose actually cuts him off with that chop block. He was severely hurt by that knee attack, and he sold very well. And he goes for the single leg Boston Crab then. So in the final moments of the match, we saw they got onto the top rope, and Storm actually Moose actually was trying to give him a superplex, but he slips down, and then he tries to give him a sit out elevated sit out power bomb, but his nerves gave out. He was too much hurt. He had too much that he got into this in this match, and he was unable. And then Moose hits a emphatic and very brutal spear, and that was it. And but after he won, that was not the fin that doesn't uh, make him satisfied, because he actually took a chair, and then fixed onto his chair, onto his not chair, into his leg, and that just stomped him off. Chris Sabin comes out, but it was too late, and I guess this was kind of to take him out for some weeks. Storm to take out him some weeks, because if they had qualified Storm, they would have to break up them. So that factor they eliminated. So Storm would be, I guess, Storm would be out for some time, for some weeks or so. Maybe he will return at Slammiversary. I don't know, but I think this could be a way. I think this can be a way for Sabin to get a victory. Maybe they could tell that story in that match, even though it's a six-way, but they can tell that story in that in the brief moment. If they can tell that story, Chris Sabin versus Moose. But my obvious choice would be Moose versus Omega, and that the match I want to see. uh, Moose looked very angry, and is very ready for to actually to get that championship back. And I think he's only credible contender in this uh, that looks like that that's more obvious to take that championship from Kenny Omega, I guess.
So overall, this week's impact was very good. Nothing very bad that I felt. Each and every match told a bit of a story. Uh, some actually told very good story. Match of the night, I would say, it was definitely uh, the Trey Metal versus Rohit Raju match. It was excellent match. I would recommend you all to see that match. And they are building up a good card for that Undersiege. And I hope to see good episode for the next week Impact as well. So they've actually announced some matches for next week's Impact. That's Rosemary versus Havoc. It's a number one contendership for Knockout Championship. And then we have Exhibition Scandal match, which has great talents like Pete Williams, Fantasmo, TJP, AC Romero, as well as Austin Rohit Raju. This would be a very great match. It should be a very fast-paced uh, matchup. And then we have Carl Anderson versus David Finley. And then we have then we may be getting Jordan Grace versus Tasha Steels. So this would be the card for the next week. So pretty okay card that I see next week. Maybe they will announce some more matches in the days to come. So I'm actually looking forward to the Under Siege, and maybe uh, they would going forward they will be putting some great impact shows uh, because the bigger show is coming this glamorously. So impact is actually looking very good right now. If you are a fan of impact wrestling, you definitely will have to would have to watch this. You would have to watch episodes of impact right now, because they sometimes they get it right, sometimes like they are not. So this is the right time to watch if you want to. You want to start up the impact, so you can watch it. You can watch this episode. Also, give on your thoughts on the comment section below. Which was your favorite match in the show? Which was your least match, or least favorite, actually least uh, liked match in this show? And what what would you guys would like to see in Under Siege? Who would you be betting to win that number one contendership for the Impact World Championship? I am going for Moose. Uh, you guys give your thoughts, give your opinions on the comment section below. I would like to discuss with you like uh, what would be the chance that any other opponent would win. The second chance I would see close to I would see is Chris Sabin. The least I am seeing is Chris Bay and Trey Miguel. I would not want to see Chris Bay or Trey Miguel. Not saying that they are not good. They are very excellent. They are very excellent because, but they justify in execution. Actually, they are more good and more worthy. Actually, more better in execution. They actually show their talent in exhibition championship picture title picture more. So I would want to see that. Sammy Callahan, I would not want to see his the so the only thing, the only two superstars we are left with is Moose and Chris Daly. I'm going for Moose. So maybe we get a Moose versus Omega at anniversary, and then Moose getting his championship back. That would be very exciting. AEW Double or Nothing is also coming. Almost he would lost his AEW World Championship as well. Uh, the number one contender that we have going to be next week, Pac versus Orange Cassidy. Who knows what's the time for Omega is right now because he has all the gold. Let's see how it unfolds. This uh, this actually it's very interesting to see right now because the wrestling industry is very game changing because WWE is doing their own thing, but the Impact, JPW, uh, NW, AW, they are all doing like they are all actually surrounding, they are all actually forming a group and they are putting on some best matchup. Sometimes there are some uh, uh, bad things as well, but I would say this is making a very interesting scenario for me. So let's see what will it be. So next week uh, we'll see.
So, as I said, guys, let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like, share, subscribe, and do that all good stuff. And until then, we meet. This is TJ signing off. Be energetic, be safe, and we'll see you guys. I will see you guys in the next review. Peace.